think you can shame me for things that I admitted readily a long time ago. Little did you know. There have been many things that require me to be forgiven. Did I say that right? Probably not, but it's okay, let's move on. A lot of things I had to forgive. A lot of things I had to let go of. And I'm lucky that I did. I'm lucky that I took that on. And I really hate how people just point the finger instead of doing the work on their own head. But welcome to the world. So if I do that in any kind of way, please forgive me, forgive me. But I do slip up 'cause I'm not perfect. And I have so much empathy that sometimes it feels like it's gonna totally suffocate me. So I stay over here so I can cry. And you know what's crazy to me is that people that think that that's a bad thing, people that think that it's bad to be sad about a sad thing, right? I said that a long time ago. I was singing a song for Kanye West. I said it's not a bad thing to be sad about a sad thing. I was talking about abortion. Now, do you remember that political rally that he did back when he was saying that he was going to be the president? That was a while back. And he totally lost it. And he couldn't stop crying. But I'll never understand why. If you cry, you just prove you're human. But it's like if you're not trying to control anyone, they'll insist that you get on medication. I mean, medication, it's Band-Aid. So that's the best thing that it can do, is subdue. So you're not really facing the problem. That's all they do is run away. But I chose to stare my problems directly in the face until they slowly started to decay. And that's the benefit, that's the reward from taking a microscope to your, whatever this is, brain? Do women have a brain? Not much of a hippocampus, but one hell of a prefrontal cortex. Well, see, the thing is, when people's frontal lobes are messed up, they don't have much of a chance at recovering. So I try to cut them some slack, though most people give them so much flack, but they really can't help it. That's what I'm saying. People don't study the brain for this reason, because they want to keep yelling at people who are not going to be receptive to that yelling. I wasn't. So, but it's not because of my frontal lobe. It's because, well, my distrust of authority figures. My delusional thinking. Dude, my car's in the shop again. I'm so fucking mad. I went to get my car aligned, right? And they were like, just to let you know, your car was overheating. In the 30 seconds that we drove it to our little spot where we are going to line your tires or whatever the fuck. So they're like, we gotta look at it, we gotta diagnose it. And, you know, it probably is an issue. I think it's a coolant leak. I think that's what's going on, because I think, like, one of the last times that I had work done on my car, and they replaced the oil gasket, the oil pan or some shit, because I had a major oil leak. And, you know, they were saying it doesn't make any sense for mechanics to tell you that you can wait on an issue. You might as well just take care of it before it gets worse. And an oil leak is only going to get worse. A coolant leak is only going to get worse. So hopefully I haven't damaged the engine. That's what I'm concerned about. But they said that they weren't comfortable with me, like, continuing to drive it until they had diagnosed it. And I know that they technically have to say that. But it's something that I should have taken care of. So I guess it's a blessing. I hope that I'm not going to get terrible news tomorrow. But something tells me that I'm not. I mean, I didn't blow the engine or anything. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to drive it over there. But, you know, it's a concern. That's why I bitch about the Industrial Revolution all the time, because it's like this was not a concern, you know, 150 years ago. So, anyway. If it's not one thing, it's another, right? Ain't that just the way life goes? I mean, I'm lucky that I have a vehicle that I gotta fix, you know? Even though it's a pain in the ass. It's still a luxury to be able to drive around. Especially as a woman, knowing that I really shouldn't be doing that. I mean, here's the thing. I talk about how women's rights were such a mistake, but I would be such a shitty wife. I know that I would. And just thinking about having to wait on a man, like, to tell me, like, what I can and cannot do, and, you know, just being stuck at the house. Like, you think I would like being stuck at the house. I mean, I love my house. I'm a wife to my house. But, you know, during COVID, I was all over the place. Fuck the government, you know? So I definitely don't think I could be a prisoner of my husband's. This cat, though, well, she's my prisoner. That's why she meows so much. She's protesting. You know? She's like, why? Why did you kidnap me? Now I need you to feed me and pet me. she doesn't care. She'd be satisfied anywhere. You know, cats are like the most satisfiable creatures. That's why I say what I say about cat people versus dog people. Dog people are really unhealthy people because they don't really face their emotional problems. But if you look at the nature of dogs versus the nature of cats, and then you look at like dog people versus cat people, and don't think I hate dogs. I cannot stress this enough. This isn't an issue with dogs themselves. This is an issue with people that own them. And the reason why they own them, a lot of them, not all dog people, but a lot of dog people own dogs because they're just not wanting to deal with their emotional problems, you know? Well, I think that cats, just in general, cats are very chill. You know, cats, like, aren't gonna whine. I mean, well, they do sometimes, but you know how dogs will, like, whimper? You know, if they want attention or if they want to be let outside or something, they whimper. I mean, I guess cats could scratch at the door. I mean, Arlo used to do that. You remember when he did that before he killed himself? Remember that? It's like she'll meow when she wants food. But, like, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't really have to worry about her, you know, needing things excessively. Like, she knows how to keep to herself and, you know, just be cool with wherever she's at. And I think that dogs could be like that too. Like, dogs would figure out how to fend for themselves. But, you know, you have all these people in society that don't know how to rough it without having an animal. And I actually think it's a form of, like, animal abuse to take in animals all because you're emotionally unstable and you don't know how to deal with it. And maybe you don't know how to be in a relationship because you chase people away because of how crazy you are, and so you just get a dog. Because the dog will, like, give you all this affection. And I know that it helped me significantly to have dogs to take care of. Like, it did something for my mental health. Like, first of all, walking around is really good. Walking around is good for everybody, but especially mentally ill people, okay? And so having dogs to walk, because I lived with people that didn't take care of their dogs and they were, like, never at home. So I would be the one responsible because I was there, and I didn't mind because I love dogs. But it was good for me. And it was good for them for obvious reasons that they needed it. But yeah, I think that animals can be a really good thing. They can be really positive and, like, enhance your life. But if you're sort of using an animal, much like I see, you know, people that have kids. This is why I say what I say about children and, like, people that either have kids or maybe they adopt kids. It's like for the purpose of fixing something. You know, like this friend of mine, she had a baby with this guy. And I love this baby so much, okay? This baby is awesome. But I feel so sorry for this kid. Because he was conceived due to her emotional instability. And so her codependency led her to have sex with this guy because she wanted to make a baby with him, okay? And he was already, like, a deadbeat with his other two kids. But she thinks that if she has a kid with him, it's going to change his behavior, all right? This is how dumb women are, all right? And, you know, I've told her to leave this guy. I don't really think it's wise now because they have kids together and everything, you know? But it's fucked up because they're not happy and it's just not a healthy situation. And he just totally takes advantage of her. Spends all of her fucking money and just makes really bad decisions all the time. He's super selfish. I've been around this guy enough times, and you guys know I hate women, so I naturally want to take his side, but he's a total piece of shit, so I really can't, you know? I'm a fair person. I'm reasonable, okay? People always want to say that, oh yeah, she just hates this group of people. I'm biased, okay? I will totally admit that I have a bias against women. I have no problem admitting that. But at the same time, that bias isn't so strong that I'm not willing to look at all of the facts and make the assessment that he's the problem, not her. I think that her codependency is a problem. But, you know, she's never going to work on that. But codependent people, i.e. borderline personalities, will always attract... I mean, they're either borderline personalities or they're covert narcissists, and they're always going to attract overt narcissists because of the manipulation game. They're both manipulating each other. It's just that with the narcissist, it's way more obvious, but, you know, the borderline kind of lets it happen, you know, because she needs him, right? She needs him. She needs him to treat her like shit. Now, I actually do have a theory that women like to be treated like shit. Because if they're not, she's going to walk all over the dude. Because she knows that she can. But, you know. You can't help people that insist on remaining in the same situation. It's like they want to keep bitching about it. But it's like every day they complain about the same thing. And it's not going to change unless that person decides to make a change. Unless that person decides to do something different. Nothing about their life is going to change. You know? And I know that from my own personal experience, not necessarily in relationships, but, you know, just everything. It's like if you're not willing to do work on yourself, then it doesn't matter like what the external factors are, because they're all going to be leading you to the exact same outcome, because you still haven't worked on the part of you that keeps ending up in these situations, you know? That's why it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, it's like she wants to be miserable. You know, and that's why I'm so opposed to feminism, because feminism pretty much guarantees that women are going to be miserable and only focus on their misery, and they're going to keep looking to the same stacks of shit to provide them solutions, you know? Are you looking at yourself? Or are you looking something on the floor? Oh, okay. He was like chewing on this. Or you can have it back. But yeah. It's just sad to me because, like, I see women that I think that they have the potential to be good women. I think they have the potential to be better women, but they just keep falling into the same traps. Whether it's the trap of feminism or it's the trap of a shitty relationship that they have to gaslight themselves into believing in. You know? Or like they're going to college or some shit. Oh my goodness. I mean, seriously though, anybody that goes to college, I'm like, why are you doing that? I will never understand people that believe in going to college. But anyway, I think I should try to go to bed now. But wish me luck on my car. Pray for me. Pray for Thelonious. That's the name of my Mini Cooper. Pray for Paisley, too. Isn't that right? Don't you want to be prayed for by the vortex? No? She said, I don't need it, but if you want to give it, I'll take it. Yeah, that's what she said.